In front of me is a pre-built gaming PC from NZXT that costs $1,600. And today we're going to be dissecting it, taking a look at the specs, the build quality, the performance, and everything that has to do with this PC, and deciding, is it a good deal? Is it a good deal for people that do not want to build their PCs and want to buy a pre-built PCs? To be specific, this exact model is the Player 2 by NZXT, priced at $1,599. You can buy it either in black or in white. And the case option that comes with this is the H5 Elite. We'll talk more about all of that in details, but first let's talk about the experience of unboxing. Out of the box, the PC was packed really well. The package wasn't too big, but everything inside was packed really well, which is something that is a big deal when you're buying a PC. You don't want your components getting damaged. I guess now we're going to be doing the rest of the unboxing, so we're going to be taking the side panel off here. Keep in mind, I haven't done this. This is the first time you guys are seeing me do this at the same time as you guys. So taking a look at this is a very good sign. So this right here, this is a pre-cut foam that is the exact measurement for the GPU that's in here. That way it does not move at all during travel. What other brands have done, they usually put an expandable paper that just goes into the PC and holds the GPU. That's also a great option. Option number 3 that I've seen a lot that is okay, but I don't like doing that, is when a GPU is out of the box and you have to install it yourself. Just because you buy a pre-built PC, you don't want to do that. Anyway, this is a good sign. Let's take this out of the box. First look, it looks pretty clean. Everything looks wired correctly, which is very important. I'm looking at the front panels, everything plugged in all the way, which is also something that's very important because you don't want to turn on your PC and something's not working and you have no idea what you're looking at. So taking a look at all these cables. So now that we made sure everything's connected, let's talk about the spec of this PC. This is a $1,600 gaming PC before tax. Here are the specs of this PC. You are getting a Ryzen 5600X with an NVIDIA RTX 4070. Great combination of CPU and GPU, very well balanced. I would say the GPU is a little more powerful than the CPU. It could bottleneck your CPU at some point in the future, but I think for now you're safe. You get 16 gigs of RAM, running at 32 megahertz per second, 2 sticks, which is nice. The motherboard, you're getting an MSI B550. Speaking of M.2s, you get 1 terabyte of M.2 SSD. We'll take a look at the brand. I think it's just Kingston, which is not a bad brand. It's just, you know, cheaper, which is okay. For AIO, it's kind of disappointing for my model that I got. Usually you either get a 280 at the top from Aorus or the NZXT 120. In my case, I got the 120, so there's not a lot of outtake in here, which is kind of disappointing. To be honest, I was hoping there would be more outtake in this case. Anyway, let me explain. This is a 120 millimeter radiator right here, which is by no means bad. It's an NZXT Kraken AIO. They're known to be better for cooling, which is good. I just wish it was 240 or 280 mounted on itself for more airflow in the case. Because right now, as I'm looking at it, there's 3 fans in the front, 1 in the back, and that is it. So that part is kind of a minus point just from looking at this. If you buy this, I would recommend either asking them to have the top fans over here, or you just add more fans to the top of your case. That way you have more exhaust fans in your build. Now the other thing that I'm kind of on the fence about is this GPU. So PNY is really like one of the cheaper GPU brands or manufacturer or third-party manufacturers that make GPUs. They're not really known for like the outstanding GPUs. They're more like, they're okay. They've gotten better over the years, so it's definitely a cheaper GPU. I wish it was like an MSI GPU or even an Asus. I doubt they put an Asus, or even just a Founders Editions. Any of those GPUs would have been fine. But yeah, that's just a nitpick of me, just because I go through a lot of GPUs, so I know a lot about GPUs. Penny is okay, it's not bad. The other thing that I wish that was different in this PC build is those RAM sticks. Those are the cheapest RAM sticks of 16 gigs you can buy on Amazon. I've seen them multiple times. You can sell them for $30, $40. I wish they spent $10 more just to get more RGB in the case. That's just my 2 cents. I am all about aesthetics, and that's why I say that. But everything else looks really good. The build quality from the front looks incredible. Before we go to the back and take a look at the cable management, I want to talk about how much would it cost you to build this PC. So I took the liberty and I went on PCPartPicker.com and I put all the parts that are in here, literally exact same model, this GPU, AIO, motherboard, everything that you see in here in this PC right now. I put it in this list and the total came up to $1,348.39. That is how much it would cost you to build this PC yourself. You'd be saving $250, $220. Obviously, that's a substantial amount of money, but it's not as bad as other brands where they're scamming the crap out of you for what you're paying. I really like this model, and the reason I think why this PC might be worth it if you can get more outtake fans out of the top is because you get 2-year warranty on this PC from NZXT. And I think that's a big point that a lot of people don't talk about. To buy a PC and have 2 years warranty included, covering everything, the build quality, the PC parts and all that, I think that is by itself is worth it because, you know, peace of mind is worth money. and you having to not deal with the PC. If something's wrong with it, you put it back in a box and you ship it back to the NZXT. You deal with it, send me back the PC working. I think that part is something that not a lot of people think about, and when you're buying a pre-built PC, and the fact that this has 2 years warranty, I'm all for it. Now let's quickly flip this PC to the back, take it apart, and take a look at the back. First look at the back. Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? Wow, that is clean. I mean, zip ties right here, zip ties right here. Everything is tight and nice. I tell you something, I never managed the back of my PCs like that. And I think this looks really good. For the power supply, it's the NZXT 605 watt power supply, fully modular, not bad at all. It is 80 plus gold, which is also nice. NZXT's power supplies used to be not great, and now they've gone better over the years. So it's nice to see that they include their own stuff. I'm really interested in this bottom fan right here. This design is really cool, having airflow coming from the bottom. I'm very impressed with the back. Cable management is on point. Let's turn on this PC, run some tests, run some games, and see what we can get with it. All right, guys, I have the PC plugged in. I have the side panel open, so it's a little bit louder. The MSI software is not letting me control the fan curve right now, which is stupid. Everything is stocked. I have not overclocked anything. I have not changed any of the settings. The RAM is running at 2400 megahertz per second, which is the default. I haven't set it to XMP on. Obviously, that's going to give you more performance. The first thing I want to run is 2 tests. One is called Cinebench to test the CPU, and we're going to monitor the performance and the temperature of the CPU, make sure it's all good to go. The second thing that I want to test, and for that, we're going to be using GivemBenchmark to see what the GPU temps get to and what frames we get with that. And then after that, we're going to boot up some Fortnite, try it in performance mode and try it in different modes at 1440p. That's the monitor that I'm plugged into right now. Without further ado, let's get started. First thing is let's run Cinebench and test the CPU. I'm going to actually go ahead and close the side panel, that way it's a fair square test. So I haven't run any tests. This is the idle temperatures right now. You can see the GPU is at 37 Celsius, which is not bad. That's the thing I was worried about for the airflow. Obviously the GPU is not under load at all, but the CPU is actually idling at 54 degrees, which is kind of hot for idle, I'm not gonna lie, especially for this CPU. It's a 5600X Ryzen, so I was right in the sense that these are definitely not bad temperatures, but they could definitely be better. All right, the Cinebench test is running right now. The load on the CPU right now is 100%. The temperature is 62 degrees, 65 degrees for the highest temperatures, 10 seconds left for the test. Yeah, 64 degrees the whole time, basically. All right, so the CPU performed like expected and the temperatures were incredible, which makes me feel good about the installation of the CPU, making sure the temperatures of the CPU stay cool under stress. Next, we're gonna be running this GivemBenchmark, which is gonna test the GPU. The test has started, the FPS counter is 180 FPS right now. The temperature of the GPU is at 60 Celsius right now, which is not bad at all. Let's let it keep running and see what the highest temperature it'll get to. Current temperature, 71. Just to give you guys an idea, the test is running at 4040p and we're getting over 200 frames. All right, we just finished the GPU test. The highest temperature we saw was 71 degrees, which is incredible. I'm really happy with that result. Really good temperatures for the CPU and the GPU. All right, now that we've done all of those tests, let's run some games, see what kind of FPS we can get. When I say games, we're only gonna be testing Fortnite today in this video, but I'll put some numbers down below in the description so you guys know and get an idea of how much FPS you can get in other games. First test, we're at 1440p, epic settings, everything's the highest. Let's see what kind of FPS we get. Just loaded into the game, we're coming down, we're hitting about 90, 100 FPS at the highest settings at 1440p. The average that I'm seeing right now is 80 to 100 FPS, which is not bad. Let's go ahead and lower the settings in 1440p and see what we can get. In the battle bus right now, we're hitting 200 FPS, which is pretty good at 1440p. Dropping down, averaging around 150, 160 FPS. We are on the ground, 200 FPS is what we're getting right now, 220. Upper of 250 is the maximum. All right, guys, now that we've tested everything, we've taken a look at the PC specs, we've taken a look at the PC quality build, we did some testing for the CPU, GPU, and some gaming. Here are my thoughts. I really like this PC. I think it's a good solution if you don't want to build a PC. Obviously, I'm an advocate of building your own PC. You can get better performance. For the same price of paying for this, you probably can get a 4070 Ti and a Ryzen 7600 or probably an Intel 12th Gen, which will get you better performance, probably 10% more performance. Anyway, but the point is, if you do not like building your own PC and you're not interested in, or you're just too scared or whatever it is, the reason that you want to build a pre-built PC, this is a good option. It's not a bad PC. The specs are really good. The way it was built was really good. And the last thing is the warranty. This has a 2-year warranty covering everything, which is something that a lot of people care about. But those are my 2 cents. If you have any questions or you have any comments about how I reviewed this PC, please let me know down below in the description, comments. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.